Welcome again to this week's look at another piece of archaeology or history that supports the historical reliability of the Bible. Critics of the Bible sometimes claim that not only is it not inspired, but neither is it historically reliable. However, in recent decades, there have been a number of archaeological discoveries that are causing these critics to have to adjust some of their views. Over the last couple of centuries, one of the leading theories by critics about the authorship of the Pentateuch, that is, the first 5 books of the Bible, has been what is known as the Graf-Wellhausen documentary hypothesis. This view completely rejects Mosaic authorship and claims that the Pentateuch was assembled together around 400 BC from 4 different sources, abbreviated as J, E, D, and P, which supposedly date from the 9th or 10th century down to the 5th century BC. Some advocates of a more recent school of thought, known as biblical minimalism, claim that the Old Testament wasn't written until as late as the 3rd century BC. However, an archaeological discovery in recent decades has caused some stress to the undergirding of these theories. In 1979, an excavation supervised by Gabriel Barkay, a professor of archaeology at Tel Aviv University, found 2 very small silver scrolls in a tomb at Ketef Enam near Jerusalem. One of these is seen here. When they were unrolled in 1986, there was found some Hebrew writing engraved upon them. Not all of the text could still be read, but on one of them there could be read these familiar words: "The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and give you peace." These are the words slightly abbreviated from the priestly blessing in Numbers chapter 6. The entirety of the blessing might have originally been found on the other scroll, but that scroll has deteriorated in the middle of the blessing and is incomplete after the word shine. That scroll also appears to have a quote from Deuteronomy chapter 7. The date of the scrolls seem relatively easy to determine from the portion of the cave in which they were found. The roof of the cave had collapsed in ancient times, making it a time capsule of sorts, with pottery, jewelry, arrowheads, and other items native to that time period. But some doubted. It has only been within the last few years, with the report being issued in 2004, that it has been confirmed beyond all doubt with various tests. The date? The 7th century BC, about 400 years earlier than even the earliest Dead Sea Scrolls. The find is significant in many ways, not least of which is its significance in regard to liberal theories about the authorship of the Pentateuch. The priestly blessing in Numbers chapter 6 is part of, and in many ways the heart of, what critics call the P or priestly document. The last of the 4 supposed JEDP documents claim to have not been composed until the 5th century BC. But here we have the discovery of the heart of that supposed document, dating from as much as 2 centuries earlier. The scrolls are as much as 4 centuries earlier than the claims of those minimalists who say that the Bible wasn't written until the 3rd century BC. It appears that there will need to be some revisions made to these theories. Since this discovery, there have been some modifications to the critics' theory. Some are now saying that, yes, the passages in Deuteronomy and Numbers may have been in existence earlier, but the rest of the material was written later. In other words, in spite of the existence of evidence that would seem to indicate that the texts of their alleged sources existed earlier than they claimed, they still choose to frame their views in unbelief. Today, there is enough evidence to believe. In spite of the fact that paper or leather scrolls deteriorate over time, we have this remarkable discovery of tiny scrolls of silver from the 7th century BC that quote from some of the earliest books of the Old Testament. We can choose to believe or not believe. The choice is ours. Join us next week as we look again at further evidence for the historical reliability of the Bible. We hope that you'll be with us then.